Hey everyone, welcome to IJustWatched. I'm Joseph, and we're about to discuss She-Hulk episode 6. Before we get into it, I gotta hit you with the usual, which is hopefully you like this enough to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified. Spoiler warning, jumping into the episode. I had said episode 4 is without question still my favorite. Episode 5 was whack and a big letdown. And I say that because it seems to have started a sad trend. Because episode 6 is also basura. We knew she looked good in that dress. It is not enough. Her CG is still so... Sometimes it's really bad. Sometimes it's okay. I know I'm not the only one complaining about it, but I feel like, people are bugging out. So can't you pause something that's in post or pre-production or something and then have people come back and take a look at this before you keep dropping these episodes? I don't know. Personally, it's kind of like a fuck y'all gonna complain about anything because the show, and I'm like, actually no, parts of the show were winning me over. She-Hulk is a great character. Jennifer is dope. She's a fun character who can hold her own with some of the craziest situations, but also she's very relatable because she is that piece that you kind of need to be able to communicate with us, the fans, the audience. Yes, the fourth wall breaks are in this galore, but they're not really being quite utilized. Now it's really just her turning around and be like, I know what we just said. It was funny, right? I'm like, dude, she's better than that, and you started off better. But I digress. Mr. Immortal's introduced just to ruin him. He's not that great of a character. I mean, here, a little backstory. He's the leader of the Great Lake Avengers. His character is interesting. His character story in the comics is so not just better, but it has more meaning. It gives you this sense of holy shit, like you feel for the character. And in the beginning when I was watching, I was like, oh, are we gonna meet Dinosaur, his wife, his lover? And in the comics, that's his soulmate. She has a type of immortality. She dies, and his destiny is to outlive everything and everyone and to witness the end. That is his destiny in the comic. If you introduce that character, what a way to one day finish the MCU, with that final movie or whatever, and have have everything end and just have his character show up again and be like, my destiny's fulfilled or something. You can have that moment of he was there and it's like a payoff to the comics, and they completely threw that shit out the window, bro. Are we gonna maybe meet or reference some of the other Great Lake Avengers like Flatman, Doorman, Big Bertha, Leather Boy, obviously his girl, Dinosaur. I say it like that because her name's not Dinosaur, it's Dinosaur. Also, Mr. Immortal is the only of his species. He is a Homo Supreme, which is above Homo Superior. Homo Superiors are your mutants, and he's the only thing above them. He's the only one. So I thought it was like, oh, we're really gonna get into some small little subtle craziness that's involved in his character and his sad but beautiful story. Because again, his power, he dies and immediately comes back. Also, which they did that in the show, but it didn't make sense, the fact that he would kill himself off, because he doesn't stay dead for long. He immediately comes back. So I was like, how are you gonna kill yourself off if you get hit but then you're up and moving? It was just unnecessarily idiotic. And they turned Mr. Immortal from a person who in the comics has his true love through it's not even true love, we're this is destined love between him and Dinah. And furthermore, the fact how he feels he's always losing people, and he wanted to become a hero to be able to do something with his power, a kind of a cool cat, into a piece of shit. I was like, damn, there's other characters who are pieces of shit you could have used for this. Also, I have a question. I thought the clothes that Luke had designed for Jennifer was supposed to be form fitted for Jennifer and when she became She-Hulk, back and forth. Because that dress when she's Jennifer seemed still, again, way too big for her. And I thought the clothes was supposed to move with her. I thought that was the whole point of that. From the suits and daily, I thought she was supposed to get a wardrobe that would work. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it was still supposed to look big. That was just the style of the dress, perhaps. Say inteligencia, but intelligentsia, whatever. I can't help but say inteligencia. I thought it was a neat drop until you find out it's just they turned it into some online troll fan page with some death threats. I get it. But I thought it would have been cool because that, to me, really connects me. MODOK, the leader. It's one of the reasons we get Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk, and a lot of villains and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I thought that's where that might be going. Don't get me wrong, it seems like it still is. Especially because they're clearly trying to steal She-Hulk's blood. Because at the end, we see them try different needles or, adapting it with a different needle and stuff. So clearly, that's what they're after. So is this MODOK? Is this a leader? Someone is clearly wanting her DNA so that way they can produce their own super soldier shit again. The wedding thing to me was stupid to begin with, especially the way that they're doing Titania. But this one little thing that I was like, every time she paid for a drink, she dropped like 2 5s and a couple ones, 2 5s and a couple ones. I was like, who stays having that many 5s? Nikki and Mallory are the dope lawyers in this show. When it says attorney at law on the show, that's clearly not Jen, because Jen has barely won cases. They're not giving her the credit due or she deserves, because she's a badass lawyer. She's a fucking great lawyer, and we're not really seeing any of that yet. Really, you know, she kind of keeps winning barely by, you know, little things. I figured we would have more progress by now, because that was episode 6. We got 3 left. I figured we definitely have more progress. I feel like Jennifer hasn't changed. She's not progressing. She's not progressing as She-Hulk. She's not progressing as Jennifer. Stuck there. Stupid trash ass rematch against Titania. Titania is someone who's almost her equal. Can be considered one of her nemesis, one of her rogues. Titania is annoying as fuck, for one. Modern take on her. I liked it, but then it just started taking that hard right into stupidity. And then the fight they had, like, there was no... It's someone who can go toe-to-toe with She-Hulk. She-Hulk is powerful. Nothing. There was no sense of danger. It turned into a joke. Like, nothing happened. And it was like, really, you're fighting someone that is this powerful, like... If you see the Hulk and Abomination fighting, if you see the Hulk and Red Hulk fighting, you're like, oh shit, we should all probably leave the fucking vicinity. Like, when she hit her and she bumped into this dude, that dude probably should have died. Obviously, he's not going to die in the show, but he should have, like, flown off. He just kind of, I fell. That is not a regular punch. Top tier superhuman strength type shit. And then lastly, this is kind of a thought. I was thinking about Todd and the way they're clearly trying to get her DNA and her Todd from the dating situation when he was like, you're a specimen. He started asking her about weaknesses. He asked her about vibranium and if it could pierce her skin. Like, little things like that. I was like, wait up. I don't think Todd is the villain, but I think he's working for the villain. I want to hear your thoughts. How do you think the show is going? For me, it started off decent. And then I was like, okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. I'm kind of actually getting into this episode 4. I was like, oh, shit. Cool. Progress. She's about to start being that badass lawyer and a badass She-Hulk. She's about to, try to figure out how, like, that the fact that she can't run away from being a hero and dealing with shit. And then it took a hard left into fuck you, doing what we want on some stupid shit. And episode 5 was whack. Episode 6 was stupid and whack. I'm hoping 7, 8, and 9 are better. I know people are excited to see Daredevil. I don't really care, because why reuse the actor and the setup from the Netflix shows and be like, yeah, this is not a season 4. It's not a continuation. It's a completely new thing. If it was a completely new thing, you should have done a completely new thing. I want to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about the show? Where do you think it's going? I want to hear from you. Theories, comments, questions. Do you agree or disagree with anything I'm saying? I love hearing from you. But until next time, stay safe. Be well. Adios.